D. That is the exact cost of the compound that Japanese automotive detailers have been using for decades to produce streak-free windshields of optical quality, a result that professional detailing shops in the United States charge between 80 and 50 per session to reproduce. The compound in question is isopropyl alcohol. More specifically, the 70% concentration that is found in any dollar store, any pharmacy, any supermarket on the planet. A small bottle costs less than in most countries, weighs almost nothing, and fits in a glove compartment. And when it is applied correctly, according to a technique that Japanese professional detailers took most of the 20th century to perfect, it dissolves all categories of windshield contamination that exist. The oily film from dashboard outgassing, the road grease transferred by the windshield wipers, the mineral deposits from hard water, the oxidized silicone from cheap rubber seals, insect proteins, exhaust particles, and the persistent haze that accumulates on interior glass after months of driving. The global market for automotive glass cleaners represents approximately $4.2 billion annually. It includes aerosol sprays, ammonia-based solutions, nanocoating kits, and polymer treatments sold at prices ranging from $8 to $90 per unit. Each of these products exists in part because the industry discovered decades ago that a generic, non-patentable solvent like isopropyl alcohol was too cheap and too effective to build a profitable business around it. From the moment a product cannot be marketed under a brand, patented or reformulated with registered additives, it disappears from the marketing conversation. It does not disappear from the workshops of those who truly know what they are doing. Japanese automotive technicians have known isopropyl alcohol as a glass preparation compound since the early 1950s, when the post-war reconstruction of the Japanese manufacturing sector produced a generation of precision mechanics who applied to automotive finishes, the same standards developed for optical lenses and camera manufacturing. The lens polishing workshops of that time used isopropyl alcohol as the final cleaning step before quality inspection, since it was the only solvent capable of removing every microscopic residue from the glass without leaving a secondary film. Automotive technicians in assembly plants adopted the same protocol for preparing windshields before factory installation. By 1962, it was a standard procedure at every major Japanese car manufacturer. Japan did not discover this compound. It inherited it from a lineage of industrial glassmakers that dates back centuries. Bohemian glassmakers of the 15th century used spirits of wine, the ethanol equivalent of what we now call isopropyl alcohol, to clean optical glass before coating and inspection. Their techniques were documented by the Prussian Academy of Sciences in 1743, when the Kingdom of Prussia was building its first precision optical instruments for military telemetering. The Prussians recognized that no mechanical polishing or water-based cleaning method could achieve the same result as a final alcohol rinse. The surface of the glass had to be chemically degreased, not simply physically cleaned. By the time the British Royal Navy standardized its periscope maintenance protocols in 1891, alcohol-based glass cleaning was already integrated into the technical manuals of every major naval power in Europe. The Royal Navy's maintenance codes for submarine periscope optical glass specified a two-step process: a mechanical cleaning to remove coarse contamination, followed by an alcohol cleaning to remove the molecular film left by human contact and atmospheric exposure. The reasoning was purely functional. A periscope lens with residual grease diffuses light. Diffused light means poor target identification. Poor target identification in combat cost ships and lives. They therefore used the cheapest and most effective degreaser available, and they used it correctly. The United States military reached the same conclusion independently during the Second World War. The Army Air Corps discovered that bomber crews in the Pacific Theater were arriving at target zones with cockpit glass compromised by a combination of hydraulic fluid mist, condensation, and the outgassing of interior plastics heated by the tropical sun. The glass was technically clean, but optically degraded. In 1944, the Air Corps Engineering Division issued a technical order specifying isopropyl alcohol as the cleaning agent for aircraft transparency panels, the technical term for canopies and windshields. The order remained in force for decades. Versions of it still govern military aircraft maintenance protocols today. The automotive world adopted this knowledge slowly. American maintenance manuals of the 1950s and 60s continued recommending ammonia-based glass cleaners as the primary solution for windshield cleaning, mainly because ammonia was cheap and the detergent industry had already built a distribution network around it. The problem with ammonia on automotive glass is structural. Ammonia is a base. The films it leaves behind when it evaporates are not chemically neutral. On interior glass, where these films remain exposed to dashboard heat and the plastic structures behind the glass, ammonia residue reacts with silicone and vinyl compounds in the interior to create a new cycle of contamination. A windshield cleaned with an ammonia product today produces a new haze in 2 to 3 weeks. That haze requires another cleaning. The cleaning requires another product. The cycle is profitable. It is not accidental. Isopropyl alcohol does not behave this way. When it evaporates, and it evaporates completely without leaving residue, it takes every contaminant with it. There's no secondary reaction with dashboard plastics, no interaction with window tint adhesive, no degradation of rubber seals. The glass surface that remains is chemically inert and does not attract new contamination at an accelerated rate. Under normal driving conditions, a windshield cleaned with the correct isopropyl alcohol technique remains clear for 6 to 8 weeks before needing another treatment, 2 to 3 times longer than the results produced by commercial glass cleaners. The specific contamination that makes automotive windshields so difficult to clean is a compounded problem of 3 distinct layers. The outermost layer on the exterior glass consists of mineral deposits from water, road film due to splashes of the tires, and oxidized insect proteins. The middle layer is a silicone residue transferred by windshield wipers that have been treated with protective products, a standard practice at car wash stations around the world. The deepest layer, particularly on the interior glass, is the plasticizer film produced by dashboard outgassing. Plasticizers are the chemical compounds added to PVC and vinyl to keep them flexible. They are volatile, they evaporate slowly, particularly when the interior of a parked car reaches temperatures of 60 to 80 degrees Celsius. They drift upward and condense on the nearest cool surface, the windshield. The result is a transparent, oily molecular film that commercial cleaners can spread but rarely remove completely. Isopropyl alcohol dissolves these 3 layers because it is both a polar and non-polar solvent in practical terms. It binds to water-soluble mineral deposits and oil-soluble organic films simultaneously. No commercial glass cleaner, regardless of its price range, reproduces this dual solvent action without the addition of surfactants that themselves leave a trace residue. The Japanese detailing protocol takes advantage of this chemistry through a specific application method that maximizes contact time and eliminates recontamination during the cleaning process. This is how to execute the procedure correctly. You need 3 elements: a bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol. The 70% concentration outperforms 91% for glass cleaning because the water content in the 70% formula prolongs evaporation time, giving the alcohol more time to dissolve contamination before lifting off the surface. A spray bottle if the alcohol does not already come with one. And 2 clean microfiber cloths. The microfiber cloths must be freshly washed, dried without fabric softener, and unused since washing. Fabric softener deposits a wax-based coating on the microfiber that transfers directly to the glass. A microfiber cloth conditioned with softener is worse than no cloth at all. You can buy 70% isopropyl alcohol at any dollar store, any pharmacy chain, or any supermarket. The standard bottle is 475 milliliters. It costs between 80 cents and 1.50 in most markets. This single bottle contains enough solution for approximately 20 to 30 complete windshield treatments. The cost per treatment is approximately 4 cents. By comparison, a professional detailing session that includes interior and exterior glass costs between 80 and 150 euros at a reputable shop. The procedure begins with the exterior glass. Park the vehicle in the shade or indoors. Direct sunlight causes the alcohol to evaporate before it has finished its job, which produces streaks that most people associate with alcohol-based cleaning, a result of incorrect application, not the compound itself. Spray the exterior surface of the windshield with 3 to 4 sprays of isopropyl alcohol, distributing the spray across the entire surface. Do not wipe immediately. Allow a contact time of 15 to 20 seconds. This contact period is the step that commercial cleaning products deliberately omit. A product that requires 20 seconds of contact time is inconvenient to sell. During those 20 seconds, the alcohol dissolves the mineral layer, breaks the bond between the silicone residue and the glass, and penetrates the outer surface of the plasticizer film. After the contact period, take the first microfiber cloth and wipe the glass following an overlapping pattern. Horizontal movements across the full width of the windshield from top to bottom. Apply moderate pressure. The cloth will pick up the visible contamination. Fold the cloth after each pass to present a clean face to the glass. When all 4 sides of the folded cloth have been used, set it aside. It is contaminated and should not touch the glass again. Take the second dry microfiber cloth. Buff the entire windshield surface immediately before the alcohol has completely evaporated. This buffing step, performed within the next 10 to 15 seconds after the first wipe, is the technical core of the Japanese protocol. The residual moisture from the partial evaporation of the alcohol carries the last dissolved contaminants off the glass as the dry cloth absorbs them. The result is a surface with no residual film. Hold a flashlight at a 45-degree angle to the glass after this step. The beam should pass through without producing haze, diffusion, or a rainbow effect. If it does, repeat the procedure once. In practice, a single pass is sufficient on glass that has never been treated with ceramic coatings or factory hydrophobic treatments. Repeat the entire sequence on the interior glass. The interior glass requires special attention regarding the wiping angle. The tilt angle of modern windshields, generally between 60 and 75 degrees from vertical and passenger cars, makes it difficult to access the lower third of the interior surface from the driver's seat. Japanese professional technicians solve this by entering the vehicle from the passenger side and working across the full width of the glass from a kneeling position on the passenger seat. This allows full arm extension and correct perpendicular pressure across the entire surface. It is less comfortable than cleaning from the driver's seat. It produces an incomparably better result. Contamination of the windshield wiper blades is the most common reason why a properly cleaned windshield develops streaks in the days following treatment. Wiper blades accumulate road dirt, silicone from car wash treatments, and oxidized rubber compounds that transfer directly to the glass with the first rain or the first use of the washer system. Before finishing the windshield treatment, lift each wiper arm and clean the entire length of the blade edge with a cloth moistened with isopropyl alcohol. This removes the transfer residue that would immediately recontaminate the clean glass. Replace blades with visible cracks, hardening, or peeling. No cleaning protocol compensates for mechanically degraded rubber. The total cost and materials for this entire procedure, alcohol and 2 microfiber cloths purchased once and washed repeatedly, is less than €3 for the initial setup, and approximately 4 cents per application thereafter. The knowledge that separates these two results is not technical complexity. It is the same knowledge that Prussian optical engineers documented in 1743, that the British Royal Navy integrated into periscope maintenance codes in 1891, that the United States Army Air Corps standardized for combat aircraft in 1944, and that Japanese automotive detailers refined into a 2-cloth protocol with 20 seconds of contact time over 60 years of daily professional practice. This protocol cost the industry, which depends on you not knowing it, $4 billion. Every bohemian glassmaker who held a piece of optical glass in front of a flashlight and saw perfect clarity after an alcohol cleaning knew what was inside the bottle on the shelf of his pharmacy. Every Prussian engineer who documented that knowledge in an academic report knew it. Every Royal Navy maintenance technician who cleaned a periscope lens before a dive knew it. Every Japanese detailing professional who picks up the small bottle before polishing a windshield to op day.